NCPA represents America's community pharmacists, including nearly 22,000 independent community pharmacies. NCPA members participate in numerous initiatives to appropriately dispense and dispose of controlled substances and to identify possible overutilization. Examples include evaluating prescriptions to attempt to detect forgeries, adopting electronic prescribing, which has helped to eliminate forgery efforts, taking part in Dispose My Meds, which has more than 2,100 participating sites across the country, utilizing Allied Against Opioid Abuse's Pharmacist Toolkit, and advocating for greater pharmacist access to naloxone.
A firm that consults with all 50 state health cabinets, federal Medicaid, the Federal Justice Department, and the FBI, showed the MCOs and PBM's administrative fees, profits, and rebate retention policies nearly alone cost the state more than the money it would take to pay our pharmacists what the federal government recommends.
Fixing clawbacks is a huge priority for so many of us on this committee, on both sides of the aisle. My question to the chairman and the ranking member, can we clarify we have a commitment from both of you to continue working with all of us until we find a way to provide real relief to community and specialty pharmacists and patients at the counter and DIR, not just rebates, and do this as soon as possible?
It's the answer is yes, and let me agree with you that it's utterly irresponsible for particularly these community pharmacists to get a bill at the end of the year that they got to pay back a bunch of money.
Absolutely. I was just in several in rural Oregon. On the front lines of rural healthcare, you really have the community pharmacists. They're the one who know the seniors. Absolutely essential to do what Senator Brown's talking about.
The bill currently does not address DIR clawbacks. And that's the main problem for our pharmacies, as Mr. Carter has explained to us. I support language to prohibit retroactive DIR fees to provide certainty to small pharmacies. We need them in our neighborhoods and to lower out-of-pocket costs for seniors. That's why I'm offering the amendment today. 4% of pharmacies have closed in the past year alone. These closures are due, among other things, to the increase in DIR fees. The pharmacies literally have no control over this. In their recent proposed rule, CMS noted that these fees have risen by, and get ready for this, 45,000% since 2010.
I want to thank Mr. Welch. He's been working with me on this, and I've been working with him on this for several years now. And it is a problem, and many people, he went through all the pharmacy problems. My friend Mr. Shimkus went through what happens in small rural communities. But it's not 6 months later, and I think Mr. Carter of Georgia would agree with me. Sometimes it's not even a year later. Sometimes it's 2 years later, and we're not talking about $5 or $6. We're talking about sometimes tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands if it's a larger pharmacy that they then come back and claw in.
But agree with Congressman Welch and Mr. Griffith that we also need to end the retroactive DIR fees. I've been working on this issue, as many on this committee have, for a number of years. I've long been a supporter of DIR fee reform because the increase in these fees has led to the closure of pharmacies in communities that I represent. Literally the closure, not just losing money, but closing. Since 2011, for example, 170 Iowa pharmacies have closed.
There's a saying you've probably heard before: get into politics or get out of pharmacy. The NCPA legislative fly-in is April 21st and 22nd, and that saying's never been more important. You got to get into politics or get out of pharmacy. Over half your reimbursement is decided right here in Congress. You've got to make sure your voice is heard. The NCPA legislative fly-in is the place to do that. Legislators need to hear your voice. NCPA is up here every day, but they want to hear your story. You vote for them into office, you can vote for them out of office. They got to hear what you have to say. Come up here April 21st and 22nd. Go to the NCPA website and register. We'll see you here.